Welcome to Focus on B, the video series where I spend about 20 or so minutes playing and talking about a game that I've been thinking about, and I've been playing it, and this is Need for Speed Most Wanted: The Imposter. Not the real Need for Speed Most Wanted, if you know what I'm talking about. This is Need for Speed Most Wanted U, specifically, actually. Not even just the PC version. I've played that one, of course. But this is actually the Wii U version of Need for Speed Most Wanted for, you know, the 2012 Criterion version. So, as you can see, this is I have no idea what kind of event this is. I just clicked on the first fucking thing that I saw, and now imagine I have to escape. I actually typically play with this camera angle because it makes more sense to me as a racing game, but this looks better for a video, so I'll make the sacrifice and I'll play that instead. So how does this version of the game differentiate itself from the, previous console releases of Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012? Well, for one, the freaking glowing trees is not part of it. That's just the emulator. But other than that, it actually includes a ton of extra DLC content, which was, that was typically DLC, but it's just included in this version as it did come out a year later. And I didn't know this, but I just looked it up. Apparently, it also features cars with decals based on Mario, Luigi, and Peach, and you find them by going into like these pipes. I have no idea where they are. I haven't played the game a ton, so maybe I just haven't found them yet. I find that to be really strange, but other than that, this game is such a classic example of, it was just the wrong name, because it's actually an absolutely fantastic open-world driving game. Like, honestly, I think I like this a little bit more than Burnout Paradise, so Burnout Paradise is amazing as well. I think I just prefer the structure of this game a little more. It's because it has licensed cars. I don't give a shit, honestly. I don't care if I'm driving a Lexus or if I'm driving a Life More Medium V12 24856, because it doesn't matter. But what does matter to me is the gameplay. And I mean, like, both are really... Fuck me, that is so annoying. But hey, as you can see, I beat the event. That's nice. And I'm going to go ahead and equip all of these things to myself now, because that's how the upgrade system works in the game, if you don't remember. There's not really conventional upgrades, so to speak, but instead you just unlock these improvements to your car as you play through the game. And I'm actually quite a big fan of this because it's almost like an RPG sort of thing, but not. Why am I so slow? Did the game glitch? Oh, no, the game was trying to realize that I've crashed. That is so fucking funny. I've seen that happen on other versions of the game as well, where it takes it a little while to remember that, oh yeah, you've crashed. Now let me see. Actually, let me check out the, let me see, Most Wanted cars. Do I have access to, what? Most Wanted, oh yeah, it's like a special event. I'm not doing that. I just want to see my ranking. Okay. So I need to get another 18,000 freaking points. So the thing is, right, this game was originally if you look into the game's development, it was meant to be a true sequel to Need for Speed Most Wanted, but due to a changing market, they wanted to focus more on multiplayer stuff, and they just didn't have enough time to truly flesh everything out. They basically scrapped that concept and just retooled the game into what is essentially Burnout Paradise, right, but with licensed cars, and I think it's a really, really enjoyable game. I think the car handling is very solid, very smooth. Again, I prefer it this way. I think the game plays a lot better like this, but that's just because, that's just how I feel about it, despite the fact that, I'm not going to make you guys look at this, because honestly, every time I've watched it, like, I'm looking at a video for about a racing game, and they're doing this, I instantly click off. So it's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to make you guys look at that either. Also, you're probably wondering, why am I playing at nighttime? Well, that's one of the things, actually. It's really cool that you can actually configure different things about the game in real time. Oh, did you see that? That right there. I'm not going to toy with it right now during this race. I'm not even sure if it'll let me. But after we're done with this race, I'm going to open that menu back up. That would typically appear on the Wii U screen. That is exclusive to the Wii U version, the Wii U screen. I mean the Wii U gamepad, the giant touch screen that'll quickly get filled with fingerprints and dust, as one might say, because it's true. I've never owned one, but I imagine that it will get I've owned a PSP, and I can tell you that thing also got covered in fingerprints, even though it doesn't even have a touch screen. It's just from using it in general, that's kind of what happens. But it's really neat. I think it's great that there still kind of exists like a separation between the different versions and adding in extra features. I think it's really cool. Like, for example, I know that the Switch doesn't really do that, because with the Switch, you can't hold it in your hands while also having it docked. That's just impossible. It's physically impossible. But I think it would have been cool. I wonder what the Switch 2 is going to do about that. I mean, by the time the video is up, the Switch 2 is probably already out. This race is not going all that well. I really should maybe cancel the race and let's see if I can... Okay, let's see if I can do this on the fly. Pause and... Oh, cheeky. You can't do it while paused. You have to actually have the game running before you can open up that menu. Okay, let's do it on this straight right here. Go, and there you go. I just turned traffic off. At least it should be off. Also, never mind the buzzing in the background. That's also because of the emulator. And yeah, that's probably why that's why I'm playing at nighttime as well. Because if you play in daytime, the game becomes blindingly bright. Like, it's just a problem with the way that the lighting engine is emulated. But you know what? I think that overall the performance is really good. Like, the guys over at CMU did a fucking killer job. The fact that a game like this is totally playable, you know? It's just kind of a little bit problematic visually. But other than that, and audibly, as you can hear, although that comes specifically from the car sounds. How do I know that? Because when I'm just kind of idling and just sitting around, that doesn't happen. That buzzing only comes when I'm actually accelerating, and it seems to happen with every single car sound, so it doesn't seem to be like a specific issue. Also, the motion blur is like way stronger in this version. But yeah, besides that though, I think the openness of the game, the fact that you can just select any car like that, it's a double-edged thing. On one hand, I feel like having too much freedom can definitely suck away some of the fun of a game, in a way. Because I personally feel that I need restrictions in certain ways, but other times, when you're so used to playing other racing games that handle things differently, it's quite refreshing to play a game kind of more like this, where you can just kind of spawn in any car at any time, and you can just do whatever event you want. Well, no, the events unfortunately are limited to particular cars. Like, only this car can do its events, right? Only the GTR, the R35, only it can do its events. That's a little bit annoying, but at the same time, it's not like the events are all that specific. And it's such an arcadey game anyway, and I like how it just doesn't hide. It doesn't hide from the fact that it wants to make everything available to you. It's not like Forza, which pretends to have an economy and money and all that stuff, when in reality, you just have every car available. You get so much fucking cash in a game that it's like there's no point in even putting a price tag on any of the cars. What the hell is happening to the textures? That's really fun. I wonder if okay, what's the short gears? Do I really want that? This game is very much focused on top speed, so I'm going to skip on that, but this is just an objective improvement, so we're going to put that on. There are some disappointments, of course, compared to the original Most Wanted. In fact, I mean, for one, the customization is completely gone. Like, you pretty much have... oh, I've crashed again. Wait for it. There it is. You gotta wait for your car to crash. I'll never get tired of that. The cops in the game are interesting, because I like to describe them as cockroach cops. What do I mean by that? Well, oh yeah, there's also a disrupt well, what does this do? What's it gonna do? Oh my god, it just makes them spin out. That's hilarious. Look at them spinning on my map. That's so funny. I call them cockroach cops in the sense that they're not really all that effective, but it'll be difficult for them to leave you alone, you know? I find them kind of annoying when you're... Basically, I did this challenge a while ago. I tried to... What the fuck is going on? He's just spinning in circles. I guess that's what the Disrupt Cops button is supposed to do, but, why is the AI back here now for some reason? Let's use the Disrupt... Oh, Cops disrupted. Let's see what'll happen now. Okay, let's just try and escape properly. There was another car that I wanted to check out, but anyway... Regardless of that, then what was I talking about? I tried to do this challenge where I... was intentionally using the lowest end car I could possibly use at the start of the game, because you know how the game just, it lets you use whatever, and that's cool generally, but sometimes you do want that grind, you want that progression, and so I picked, I think it was the Lancia, or I think it was the Firebird, I'm not sure, I picked the car with just the weakest overall stats. What is that ad supposed to be? I'm not sure. It looks like a file format, WFFS. This game is .WUA, I believe. WUA, I think. You know what's funny? You know how, like, Doom mods are typically, like, WAD file format? Yeah, well, that's the same file format as the Nintendo Wii eShop. I find that pretty funny. It's like, let me just download fucking cavestory.wad. Sounds like a mod, right? Sounds like a Doom thing. But anyway, Where was I? Let's try and get this new car just to see what it's like. Dice? What the fuck? Why is there an ad for Dice? I know that Dice, they're owned by EA. Ooh, look at that thing. Let me actually see what I can do here in terms of races. What can we got a new one? Actually, hold on. Can I fight the fucking most wanted guy now? No, I can't. I'll have to do one more thing. Let's just stick with the LFA for now. Start it. I like how... I'm not sure if this is just because I've played quite a bit of the game, or if it's just a convenience of the Wii U version, but you actually don't have to... oh, it's a nice little cutscene. Yeah, the game had these really cool cutscenes, really stylish. It was just such a clusterfuck of different styles. That's the thing. It didn't really feel consistent in any one way. And oh my god, I'm blind. Okay, no, I think that was intentional. That was an intentional blinding. I'm going to have to set the game back to nighttime when we eventually get to... when it becomes day again. But look at how much better the game is to play with no traffic. Don't get me wrong, traffic is definitely an element of the street racing experience that I think that some games handle better than others. But this game, honestly, with its whole crash out system, it really didn't need it. Like in Burnout it was kind of cool because you could like, in Burnout Revenge specifically, because of the whole not after touch, what was it? Traffic touching. Was that what it was called? Traffic checking. There it is. Traffic checking. It allowed you to knock cars into your opponents, and that was really freaking cool. But in this kind of game, it's not necessary. So you know what? I really do commend Criterion for doing that, for just going, you know what, fuck it. You can just turn the cops off if you want to. It's only in this version, I believe. I mean, there's definitely mods for the PC version. Actually, there was a mod that I really loved using back then for the PC version, which completely disables. It was a custom launcher that allowed you to configure some things, and one of the options was to completely disable that stupid-ass crash out thing that happens. Oh my god, it completely changed the game. It made it so much better. Now, fortunately, this version doesn't really have that issue as much because, again, you can just disable traffic, so you don't have to worry about crashing out quite as often. But still, and the thing is, like, you can kind of become a little spoiled by the lack of oh my god, what the fuck? Is that the end of the event? Damn, I actually failed an event in this game. I genuinely did not think that was possible. Honestly, because this is one of those easy as fuck type games where you just kind of never assume that it's possible to lose, but I guess it is. Let's go ahead and do it again, because I do want to complete it. I'm a big... when it comes to racing games, for whatever fucking reason, even though when I'm playing like a platformer, I'm playing a shooter, I'm playing a whatever, I generally don't care for going for 100%. But when I'm playing a racing game, for whatever reason, I cannot leave anything alone. Like, I just absolutely have to get 100%, or at least get as much stuff as I can, right? So if there's a race that I can complete with this car, I'm gonna fucking complete that race. You know, when I did my up-teenth playthrough of Undercover, because I'm mentally insane and I actually kind of enjoy that game. Yeah, I have absolutely garbage taste, I know. I completed, like, basically every single event. Every single race event. I don't really care for the cop stuff, to be honest. Like, I think the cops in that game are fun enough to race around with. Ooh, I unlocked it. Yeah, I forgot about that. There's a pro system. Basically, you can... Atari 20... what was it? 7800 Pro system. If you drive around enough in a certain car after having unlocked a particular upgrade, you can then unlock an even better version of that same upgrade. Now, I'm pretty sure I can't equip it right now. I mean, I can, but I would probably crash if I tried to equip it mid-race. So this time, let's not take the... Oh, let's not go through the freaking gas station, and instead, let's just stick with the main path. And there we go, we're good. Slam takedown. Yeah, that was another thing in this game. Basically, it's more annoying in multiplayer. I've never played this game multiplayer, to be honest, but I think what it does is it essentially disables your car's input. It makes it impossible to steer, and you essentially just have no choice but to crash. Also, yes, reinflating tires are a thing in this game, which came back, I believe, in Payback. Because I remember in Payback, at some of the missions, you could like have your tires burst, but then they... I'm not actually going to equip it, though. But then they automatically come back. What's this? Equip Power Shot Nitrous. Uses full nitrous tank for a blah blah. No, I think I'd rather use the traditional nitrous. And Impact Protection. No, I don't need that. So now let's actually slow our asses down. And you're going to notice that the noise is going to go away, because it's tied to the vehicle, the engine noises. We can actually go in, not touch the tires. Because, oh, wait a second. Track tires, reinflate. Yeah, I already have these. I haven't unlocked the pro ones, though. I mean, you know what? Oh, what the hell? Boost you? A small increase to power and acceleration would increase toughness at the front of the car. Oh no, wait, that sounds... Let's equip it just to see what it does. That kind of sounds to me like a, why don't I have Arrow equipped? That's like the best one. That to me sounds kind of like Sonic. And I like Sonic a lot, as you probably know. But does that mean that I'll have like a boost aura around me or some shit? Like when I... No, but I'm assuming what this does is it'll allow me to take people out more easily. That doesn't really sound all that fun, but whatever. Let's go ahead and take out the next most wanted guy. Wait, there he is. Start race. I'm actually going to let you guys see the cutscene because these cutscenes are really something special. Wow, it's a car made of crystal. Also, that was really, really quiet, but hopefully you guys won't notice when I change the mix later on. But regardless, so this is basically one of the most wanted races. This is how this game is structured. This is the game's form of progression. Essentially, you get enough speed points, and then you get to race one of these guys, and then you unlock them. It's practically a car collectathon, right? The whole point is that you just want to get all the cars. And I think you get a special tiny little cutscene when you beat the game or something. I think it's just one of the trailers or whatever, but essentially, there's not much to... I think that was a big reason as to why a lot of, you know, true blood Need for Speed fans had a problem with this game, was because of the fact that you weren't really progressing in the same way that you do in something like the original Most Wanted, for example, where you would start out in a really shitty car, well, not that shitty, but still a kind of a lower end car, and then you would have to upgrade it, obviously. You would have to customize it to make the cops less likely to recognize you, and then you would go ahead and beat the next guy, and then you unlock their car, and it's very similar to how this game works, but it's the details that make a difference, right? So here, for example, you already start out in a fucking Aston Martin, right? Like in Most Wanted, the original, you had the option between like a Cobalt SS, you had a Volkswagen. I think if you had Underground 2 installed on your computer, you also had a Golf R32, you had a Lexus LS200 or IS200, I'm not sure. And you also had a Fiat Punto, right? Which are nice cars, but they're significantly lower end than a freaking Aston Martin, right? You also get a Porsche in this game, like right off the bat, and the thing is, every car is technically available from the start. And I don't mind that, because I do enjoy exploration. In fact, admittedly, and this is going to be just completely fucking heretical, but I think that as an open world driving game, Most Wanted 2012 is much better than the original. Because in the original, I genuinely didn't care for driving around in the open world other than completing just the occasional milestone or something like that. But generally, I just wanted to get to my races as soon as possible. However, when I was a kid, I used to be scared of the open world because I thought that, like, the cops could just get me really easily without me even doing anything. And now you gotta shut them down, obviously. That's kind of how ownership in this game works. It's like, oh, you beat me? Well, you gotta kill me first before you can have my car. So you destroy the car and somehow it comes back brand new. But anyway... but here, you're actually actively encouraged the entire time to seek out things to do in the large open world. Even if there are some conveniences to make the open world less of a factor, like for example the fact that you can just fast travel to your next event. But still, that's a bit of a hot take, I know. I think no. Of course, I prefer the original Most Wanted because it's just so good and plays so great, and you get this incredible feeling of just getting better and better, whereas here you already start out. It's kind of like the Forza problem, where you start with something great already, so it's like you don't really feel the need to try and get anything better. But this is a fun game in its own right, honestly, and God, it's so fucking bright. Hold on, let me just... not traffic, but there you go. That's gonna shift it, and it's gonna go back to day, and it's gonna go back to night. Right there you go. That's what I want. So I haven't been able to catch the guy yet, the McLaren that is rightfully mine now, but regardless. Anyway, this is pretty much going to do it for Most Wanted 2012. I really like this game. It's fun as hell. Is it a true Need for Speed game? Well, it has Need for Speed in the title. It's published by EA. It's developed by the people who currently develop Need for Speed, so I can't really say it's not a Need for Speed game. It's just kind of, you know, Need for Speed's always kind of had an identity problem, but I don't mind that. I like how eclectic Need for Speed can be. I don't want every game to be the exact same. You need a sense of consistency, but not necessarily, oh fuck, am I going to get busted? No. Too late, fucker. Never going to get busted. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of Focus on B, the video series where I spend 20 or so minutes playing and talking about a game that I've been thinking about, that I've been playing. And this has been Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, Wii U, Xbox 360, PS3, and PC, and also mobile.